Alright, so in today's video, I'm going over how to defend the site, shop and kitchen, in the new Outback rework of Rainbow Six Siege. This is the last video in my series on the new Outback rework, and honestly, this is the hardest site that I've ever had to make. Just because of how weird the site is and how big the restaurant area is in front of the site, I've had a really hard time being creative with how to defend this site, and I definitely don't think that this is one of the sites you should be playing first. This might even be probably the worst site on the map, but I'm still gonna make a video on it just in case I'm wrong. Anyways, all out the way, enjoy the video. Alright, so the first operator I'm gonna have you pick for this site is going to be Aruni. Now the first Aruni gate that you're gonna put down is gonna be on the mechanic shop window. The second Aruni I'm gonna have you place down is mechanic shop door. Now this is really important as there's a window that connects outside the waiting room, making this wall and this door a really strong choke point, but also it comes right from reception into here, so having an Aruni gate here is very powerful. The last Aruni you're going to put down is the kitchen door. You know when people easily just nading the rotate or nading people behind here that are playing here, so having that thing to block utility is very important. And then as Aruni you're going to want to make a rotate right here on the kitchen wall. Alright, so the next operator I have on this list is mute. So the first thing you're going to do is put a mute jammer on a reinforced kitchen wall. The next thing you're going to do is put a mute jammer on the garage outside wall. And then the last two mute jammers are going to be upstairs as you're going to be roaming with them. That being said, the third mute jammer is going to go on the office supply wall. And the last and final mute jammer is optional, but I like to put my mute jammer right here to deny the hatch. If you want to bring a Kate instead of an extra roamer like I'm going to do, you can actually have a Kate on this hatch and it'd be a lot safer than having a mute jammer, but I like to put a mute jammer here. That way that they think that the mute jammer is actually downstairs covering the hatch and they don't shoot through this. Plus, if you're roaming in here anyways, if they try to open the hatch, you'll probably be able to kill them or waste a little bit of time. So overall, I think this is a pretty good mute jammer. Alright, the next operator I'm going to have you play is Clash. Clash is actually not a bad operator. Yeah, there's always picks, and yeah, she's kind of a brain dead pick, and at higher levels people know how to counter her very easily, but majority of players actually don't. And with you playing the site not having much pressure on the restaurant, Clash is actually really good on this site. And the next operator I'm gonna have you pick is actually gonna help her a lot, but we'll talk about that later. So whenever people push restaurant, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 access points straight from outside directly into the building with lines of sight into the objective. And they can easily come in here, and all they have to do as an attacker is break down any of these 3 doors and rush into here. Because if you have your Aruni gates here and you don't make a rotate there, you're sitting in sight, so you don't have any pressure from here. So all you have to do, if nobody's playing restaurant, is sit and hold sight. So you immediately go from outside to holding angles in the objective. If nobody's playing shark, you have the same thing from this double door. What Clash does is completely negate this. Clash applies a lot of pressure to make the push from outside into the objective a lot harder. So if you think back to what I said earlier in the video about how there was going to be an operator to support your Clash, the next operator is going to be Wamai. Now, your Wamai discs are going to make it to where they can't have grenades, Ash, or Zofia come into restaurant and bully your Clash. So your first Wamai disc is going to go right here. Obviously this covers the entire doorway and anything on this windowsill. The next Wamai disc is going to go into this light. It covers this door and this door, so if they try to nade from into here onto your Clash, or they try to Zofia it, it's going to get Wamai'd. Your next Wamai disc is going to go at the top of this door. So these next 3 Wamai discs are going to be optional depending on where you're playing, but for me, I'm actually going to play Wamai in shop. Your last 3 Wamai discs do come later into the round, so you don't really have time to put them in places that would be outside of the site. So what I do if you're playing in shop is put Wamai discs on all of the doorways and window. Just in case your Aruni gets destroyed, you still have some backup utility in order to deny grenades and stuff. So putting him in places like that and that are your best bet. Alright, so the last operator you're going to have on this list is going to be a flex role. I like to play Mozzie personally, just because of the droning that he's going to deny. You do have a mute, but all of his mute gemmers are going to be on walls, so Mozzie's actually not a bad pick. You're going to have him roam upstairs, as mute roaming upstairs isn't quite enough, especially on a first floor map. Personally, I would play him in garage, as there is a main wall, a door, and 2 windows that lead into a major line of sight for the objective. Also, one thing that I noticed, you can do this as Mozzie because it's upstairs, or you can do this as mute, is you can open up this floor right here. And you can actually see into this room down here. You can see the doorway, and you can see the window. You actually see their feet when they hop in before they see you, so if you're playing mute, this is actually a really good angle for you to hold. Anyways, here are all of the reinforcements you're going to need for the site. Now wait a second, hold on. Why didn't I reinforce the right side of this wall? And no, it's not because I ran out of reinforcements, I actually did this on purpose. If you rewind all the way back to where I was telling you when to play Aruni, whenever you're setting up a site, you can put holes on the bottom of this wall. And if you play here, you can shoot anybody that comes in and jumps in through the window. That is optional, but I like to do that. And then when people also come in through waiting room, this looks a lot more intimidating to walk through when you drone it out than it would just having a reinforced wall here. That's another reason I put an Aruni gate here as well. There's 2 major key points that attackers push through because it connects straight to the outside. So having this right here punched out is actually very powerful. Now there's an argument to be made about making this an entire rotate. I actually do like this idea. The only thing stopping me from doing this, of course, would be this window, because if they open it, I don't want to have to worry about the window whenever I'm wide swinging the rotate. And also, if attackers push from reception, which they probably are going to do, it's right next to their spawn. Not only do they not have to worry about this Aruni gate anymore, because they have a rotate at a site, but also, this is a really covered rotate. Whenever they peek this, they have all of this cover, they have all of this wall cover, so this is a really powerful position for attackers to get as well. So it's a risk over reward thing. If you bring a castle maybe and you castle this off, then I can see this actually being used properly. But other than that, I would just put holes at the bottom of it. Anyways, that's really it. I said this before, but I think this is definitely the worst site on the map. If I had to give you a list of what sites I think are the best from worst, office is the best site. And then what I'd play second would be downstairs red and green bedroom, and then I would play laundry and piano. I just don't really like laundry and piano. There's too many walls and angles that the attackers can use to get to you, plus the terrace area is really easy for attackers to get. So red and green bedroom I think is actually better. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion, whatever. But downstairs kitchen and shop is definitely the worst site. I had trouble thinking of ideas to defend this site, not only because of how open it is on the outside and easy it is to access, but just because there's not a lot of operators that really kind of fit in terms of playstyle to play on that site. So honestly, I wouldn't play this site at all. I would not recommend playing the site no matter what you get. Just keep redoing the same sites if you lose. But I thought I'd put it out there just in case people disagree with me or they want to see a different angle on that site. Whatever. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. I'm done with making videos about Outback. I've thought about doing attacking strategies for each site, but honestly, I'm kind of tired of making videos about Outback, so I'm sure you're tired of seeing them. This new rework isn't the only thing that came with the new season, so I'm hoping to make some more content, maybe on Thorn, maybe on different balance changes, I don't know, we'll see. But making videos on this site was fun while it lasted. I actually really enjoy making videos on how to defend certain sites, so every time a new map comes out or gets reworked, I'm gonna do this. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to sub. You can always undo it at any time if you want to stop seeing my thumbnails in your feed. Like the video if you like it, dislike the video if you dislike it, and I'll see you in the next one.